Glory to God. Thank you, Jesus. Glory to God. Bless his name. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all. Welcome to Kingdom Table Talk TV. But tonight we're going to be talking about relationship. So tonight is about Let's Talk Relationship with Dr. Coach Vanzant. I'm coming as a coach tonight because usually I talk about relationship on this level. Here I come as a coach. I am a licensed ministerial coach, so I'm trying to come in a different way. I'm coming in a different way on tonight. So we're just giving God praise and glory for this wonderful Monday, this wonderful Monday evening. He is just so good. God is just so awesome. And we're just praising him for all that he is doing and for what God has done. We're just giving God praise and glory for he is just so awesome. This is what I want to do first before I get started. I want to just say a word of prayer just to get started with a word of prayer because there's nothing that we can do without prayer. So let's just go into a word of prayer real quickly. Father, in Jesus' name, we just thank you right now for this wonderful evening. We thank you for all of those that are coming in, chiming in, logging in, tuning in on tonight from wherever they're coming from, whichever direction. We ask that their ears will be anointed to hear your wisdom, hear your instructions and your directions, Father. And we just give you praise and glory. We ask that you would bless this TV show on tonight and that you would download your wisdom and your revelation and your understanding on tonight, that we may glean from it and learn from it, that we may grow and be a better person in you. In Jesus' name, amen. So listen, we're thanking God for those that are coming in now. We thank God. God bless you, Ashley. God bless you, my dear sister, Sister Harris, Sister Leona. God bless you. We see a queen is there. I don't know who queen is, but bless you. Bless you, queen is probably someone new or this their name, login name I don't recognize. But thank you for coming in. And we're excited tonight. I did have some people to send some questions in because I put out this early this morning for different ones to send in questions. Send your inbox. Okay, 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 Sonia love. Okay, sweetie. Okay, now I see you. I know who you are now. Okay. Well, I have a young lady that's here online with me. I was trying to get her on Facebook. I was going to do a Facebook and then bring her in, but Facebook has this new thing here and setup, so I don't know how to actually work it yet. So I'm going to figure out how to work that because I can bring her in. And probably when I do that next time, I'll probably just go on Facebook and do this. And because what I'm getting ready to do, I'm going to let Monday nights be let's talk relationship night, and then I'm gonna have another night for Kingdom Table Talk TV. So that'd be two different shows. So once I get all of my signs and all that stuff together, kind of switch things around a little bit. But okay, we're just excited about this new show that God has put in my spirit to Let's Talk Relationship, and I'm just excited about what he's doing. I know that relationship is very important, and the weather is getting warm, and all of that. People are starting to go back out. They have opened up. At least our area in Georgia, and so people are starting to go back out, and it's getting warm, and so the warm weather make you feel real cozy, and you wish you had someone in your life to hold hands with. This is relationship talk tonight, so let's talk relationship. So so we that's very important because God ordained relationship between a man and a woman and a man. Okay, we're gonna leave that right there. So we want to talk about relationship. We want to help empower you, give you wisdom and knowledge and understanding information that you need to help you to start a relationship off right. And so I have Prophet Sonia Lewis is with me tonight. I finally had a chance to meet her in person. I met her a few times, very sweet young lady, and she's going to help me answer some of these questions. And so I'm going to ask her to, let me see, I'm going to start reading some of these questions. You know, uh, one of the things that will help, let me start off with this. One of the things that will help with uh, relationship is communication. And I think someone asked me about communication. I have some questions in here. Let me see. Oh, God, help me to find the question. And it was a very good question. And it asked about, okay, I think I know who the person is. And we're going to start off with this question. And then I'm going to, let me see if this is the question right here. Okay, let me see if this is one of the questions was, I think I had about 5 questions in box. So if anybody here have any questions, you can either type the question here or either go to my message or my inbox and type type the questions in. Let me see. Just give me a second. I want to pull this up and pull out this question because I wanted to kind of give you a chance to get some questions in. And this question was kind of, let me see if I can, okay, wait a minute, I think I found it. Okay, we're going to start with some of these questions. Okay, I'm going to read this question first because it's very easy. It's an easy question. So let me put my glasses on for this one so I can see it. Okay, here's a question. This person sent me a question. Let's see, some more questions are supposed to come in. But okay, here is this question. It's annoying. I don't like the new Facebook way. Yeah, I don't like the new Facebook way either, Ashley. It is annoying. It's aggravating because they leave out actually they leave out the audio live broadcast link on it. You can't do the live broadcast on it. So I don't know. We have to make a complaint so they can either go in there and update it and make it more better, or just switch back to the way it was. It is annoying. Okay, here's a question here. Let me see. Let me read it first so I can kind of bring the question out. Let me see. This person, let me see. Let me ask this question. It says, okay, let me go down where the question is. Okay, here's the question. Question: does a man think that a woman understands his intention? Now, this question, this young lady is asking, really, I need a man here to answer this, but because I have written a book on for a man, I've written a book called Man Formed from the Dust of the Ground. And I have interviewed men in relationships. When I was writing my books, I did a lot of interview asking men certain questions. So I can answer these because I have gotten the answers from men, you know, in reference to in reference to the questions that I asked. So this question here is, let's see. The question here is, why does, oh gosh, hold on, you all, hold on. It says, why does a man think that a woman understands his intentions instead of just talking to us about what he is doing? I know they don't like to talk, but there should be a conversation going on so the woman won't think that they are in a relation. So the woman, let me see, so the woman won't think that they are in a relationship. Okay, let me just stop because it's a long question. Okay, I can answer this. Hold on, Sonia Love. I'm gonna give you the hard question. This is the easy question. Now, I have interviewed men, and actually, I have a book here. I have a book here where I talk about, and it's not this particular book. This book's cover. This book here is now Red Flags, and in this book, I talk about men communication. Let me see. I'm trying to tell somebody else we're on now. I'm on. Okay, hold on just a second. Bear with me just a second. This is when you're trying to work two devices. So this book has communication. This book here is red flags, and I talk about communication in it. I talk about it's very sizzling, so you have to buy Frustration in the Bedroom. So I'm not going to teach that on here. You have to buy the book to get the rest of the information. But I'm just pulling out some nuggets in this book. So this book talks about men, and men are wired different from women. So women are wired different. So just in case the young lady that asked me the question, if she's listening, men are wired different from women, and probably Sonia will probably have some input. Sonia, if you want to go to my messenger and type in, you can, and then I can just read your response. But men are wired different, and men do not really like to talk. Now there are some men, very few men that I've come across that they love to talk. But I believe, just from my interview with men, they weren't raised up to communicate, because most men that were raised up in a home is they mostly heard it was mostly the mother that was doing all the conversating. I wish I had really a man on here to kind of help put their input. But men don't like drama. I do know that. I have got that from a man. He said men do not like drama. They don't like drama. And they don't like men don't like to be questioned and nag, what men call nag. They don't like to be nagged. So men cannot handle feeling like they've been overpowered. They're overpowered. I think Sonia's, let me see what she put up, Sonia. Yes, I'm gonna read what she said. Okay, she's responding. I'm gonna read what she said. So men don't like details, but they have to learn to be detailed when it comes to a woman. So this question here says, why does a man think that a woman understands his attention instead of him talking? Well, sometimes that's vice versa. Sometimes women don't talk and thinking that the man should already know. So I think it should be, there should, and if you have a man in your life, I'm gonna give Sonia's answer in a few minutes. When you have a man in your life and you're not getting the answers that you need to get from him, my suggestion would be talk to him. Get him to open up. I mean, don't fuss at him. Don't say, "Didn't you hear me?" Or, "Why you're not speaking?" Find his find his oh, what word I need to use? Find his turn on button, or find the button that gets him to talk. Find that button that makes him talk. It may be fixing him a good dinner. It may be some nice soft music and fixing him some good dinner, rubbing his shoulders, and just open him up and make him talk. I see Sonia sending me some respondents. I'm gonna get to hers. So there are different ways that you can get a man to open up and to get him to talk. Some men you have to pry to get them to talk. Let me see. It's something else she said, and I'm going to read what Sonia has said. Let's see. What is he doing? I know they don't like to talk, but they should be a conversation going on so women won't think that they're in a relationship. Let's see, a relationship all by themselves. I think that's what she's saying. Okay, so that answered it. Now let me go over to, now this young lady here. I'm gonna go back to her question because she had another loaded question too. Okay, tap the post. Oh Lord, wait a minute, my phone. In the name of Jesus. Okay, tap the post. She said it was okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let's see. Wait a minute, let me see if I can find her. Oh my gosh. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Be patient with me. I'm trying to find. Okay, here she go. Okay, here's Sonia's answers. Here's her response to the question. Communication is a must in relationship. Many say communication is confrontation to rear away from being transparent. How can you know someone except you talk? Very good. Very good. How can you know except someone talks? But as you talk, you can see how they answer. Yes, I like that, Sandra Love. I like that. I like that. Yes, I think I have that in my book. Uh, she said, but as you answer, it says, but as you talk, you can learn the body language. Let me see. I think I missed something she said here. When you see how they answer, body language, how they look or approach you. Now, let me pause right here because I've studied a little body language. A woman, have to have that wisdom or that cunning wisdom about her to know how to get her husband to communicate, because we all know that men and women are wired differently. They're wired differently. So you have to know your man, and you have to know how to get him to communicate with you. And let me throw this in here. Let me throw this in here. Now, this is what I would say not to do. If you're a woman, a very conversative woman, very chatty woman, and you're excited about your husband coming home, listen, I need y'all to take all these notes down. Those that need to take notes, take notes. I know Ashley's taking a whole lot of notes. If you're one of those chatty women and your husband comes in from work, let me put your pause right here. And he comes in from work, and you're just ready, and he's tired. He had a long day at work and he's tired. And you meet him at the door. First of all, don't meet your husband at the door with rollers in your hair. Come on, please. Come on, come on, come on. Let's use a little bit better tact than that. Don't let him leave the house with rollers in your hair. And then he comes home and you greet him at the door with rollers in your hair. Your face not washed. You still got on that old bathrobe when he left you in. Come on, unless you're sick. But if you're not sick and you know he's working and you at home, doll yourself up, spray some cologne on, fix your hair, put something nice on, have dinner ready for him. So when he comes in, just don't charge him with all these questions. It's like, give the man a break, give him a breather, let him come in the house, let him take his work clothes off. That's right. Look presentable. Yes, look presentable. Let him take his set his work clothes down. Whatever type of job he has, allow him to unwind from the job. Allow him to breathe. Let him eat first. Let him get calmed down. And then begin to, maybe during dinner time, begin to ease questions in. But don't bombard a man with questions, questions, questions. Woo, you'll make him want to run back out the door. Men can't handle stuff like women. So you have to know that God didn't make the man like a woman, and he didn't make the woman like the man. So men and women are wired differently. Okay, I had to throw that in. Okay, let's go back to what Sonia said. She said they feel communication is nagging. Yes, they feel communication is nagging when we're not nagging. So this is why you want to find a wise way. I see some more answers in here. Okay, this is why you want to find a wise way to communicate to your husband, to get him to, or even if you're engaged, you're engaged now. Of course, if you're engaged, he lives in his place and you live in your place. Y'all don't live together. We're talking about believers here. Sanctified, Holy Ghost believers have no business living in the same house together. That's gonna get you in big trouble. You're gonna dive into some sin somewhere up in there. Especially if you have strong feelings for each other and you're living together. That's already a no-no. See, they don't teach this. You don't hear this type of teaching. But listen, I'm gonna teach this. That's a no-no. You don't do that. So if you're engaged, use still the same principle. If you're having dinner for that person over, don't have no dinner for him at no 12 midnight, no 10 o'clock at night. No 9 o'clock at night. Listen, this is some good solid teaching right here. This here keeps you from getting in trouble. So have it at a decent hour, decent hour. Okay, it's time to go home. 10 o'clock, you got to go, brother. You just have to go. We're not trying to get in trouble. We're going to do this thing right in God's eyesight. Okay, let me leave that alone. Okay, so yes, God. Okay, Sonia's putting it out there. Let me finish reading what she said right here. So she said, "Thank God that my husband loves communication. He asks more questions than I do. If a man doesn't want to open up, he could be a problem later on." Oh, wait a minute, Sonia. Hold on. You done hit something here. Listen. Did y'all hear what she said? She said, now her husband is a communicator. Now, there are some men that are communicators. Some men are not communicators. So when you have a man or someone you're engaged to or your husband that's not a communicator, you're going to have to find the right button to know how to push to get him to communicate and open up. You got to know how to open him up. Now, in Prophet Sonia's part here, she said her husband is a communicator. And she said, but if you have someone who does not want to open up, it could be a problem later on. And she is absolutely right. When you have a man that is closed and he doesn't communicate, that's not a good sign, because you need him to communicate. You need him to talk. You need him to conversate with you, because the more you talk and communicate, this is how you learn each other. This is how you learn each other, about communicating and talking to each other. Okay, let me see what else. Let me see what else Sonia has here. Okay, she says, look, invite. Yes, look inviting. He has a rough day at work. Let him look forward to something to come home. Kiss him, feed him, have a nice bath, massage. Oh yeah, she went on in there. Now this is for married people. This is for married people, because I have my book here, Frustration in the Bedroom. Y'all gonna have to buy that to get this. I'm not gonna teach that on here. You have to buy the book. I can't teach the whole book and then you won't buy it. So you got to buy it to get that. Okay, then talk. Yes, whatever it takes to get him, maybe. Okay, who is this? Jeannie Richardson. I don't think I know who she. Oh, yes, I do. I invited her. Yes, she says prepare his bath, get him relaxed from, throughout the day. Right. So you're taking all of that tiredness off of him, and you're relaxing him. Now, this is if you're married. This is if you're married, you run the bath water. We talking about people that's married right here. But if you're engaged, there's a certain place you can go. You can, just maybe do something fun. Do something fun. Maybe go out, take a movie in, do something that causes him to laugh, to get him to talk. But he has to talk. Okay. Let's see what. Okay, Sonia said, if you're engaged, encourage him to find out a time to talk. Right, that's good. That's good. That's good. Hi, Prophet Deborah. Hi, darling. I think I got your name right this time, Prophet Deborah. I've been practicing. God bless you, sweetie. You finally got on. So listen, these are some good questions tonight. So if you're engaged, if you are married, those good communication skills, you want to learn communication skills is very important with a man and a woman. Both need to learn how to communicate. Communication. Let me read something out of my book right here. I wrote this in my book. Okay, this is good. I think I'm going to go back to this other young lady. She had another question. We got another question. Let me see if I can find. I want to add something to communication. Okay, let me go back to my book here. Now, in my book, it says, and the book, if you want to order it, is called Red Flags. Red Flags is real sizzly. It's good for single people, but it's definitely good for married people, for people that are married and engaged. So it's good. So, okay, here it is. When communication is not made clear between a man and a woman, watch this. Windows of misunderstanding are left open for misinterpretation. I'm going to say that again. Where communication is not made clear. Now, this here rule of thumb is good across the board for anyone. It could be a engaged couple, a couple that's courting, or it could be between a brother and a brother, or a sister and a sister, or a ministry relationship. Communication needs to be developed. We must learn to communicate. We must learn to communicate, especially if we're in covenant with someone in ministry. We got to learn communication, especially with men. My God. So when we communicate, if when our communication is not clear between a man and a woman, windows of misunderstanding are left open for misinterpretation. Now, let me say this, that when you have two brothers are talking together, they pretty much understand they lingo, they language. Men understand men's language, and women understand women's language. But when you have a man and a woman, and if he's thinking that he's talking with his buddy and he's just not being clear, men are short in their conversation. They're not lengthy. They just talk to the point. They just get to the point. And but women, we are lengthy. We have words. We want words, and then we attach our words to our emotions. So that's why a man has to learn. Listen, I said this at the very first. This is relationship 3, I believe. This is relationship 101 3. Listen, get pre-counseling before you get married. Get pre-counseling, and we made we made a foundation. We made a declare that when you are courting, court for 3, develop a friendship relationship for 3 months. Get you a 3-month rule of developing a friendship. Don't talk about marriage. Don't talk about being engaged. Don't talk about wedding rings, or how many children you want, or don't talk about any of those things, because that goes over into a heavier weight of conversation. You want to get to know each other as friends. See if he can be a friend to you, and see if she can be a friend to you. So you want to learn, have that foundation of friendship. Get counseling. I strongly. I see Sonia has something to say. I strongly, let me pull her up now. I strongly suggest, let me see. I strongly suggest counseling. And if you're interested in each other and you see this could be a potential wife and potential husband, be friends for 3 months. Don't try to hold hands and kiss and all this stuff, whatever. Don't try to do any of that kind of stuff. What you want to do is develop a foundation of friendship first. You want to be friends. See if you can make each other laugh. See if you can see what buttons you can push to make each other upset. I had a man of God say this to me with such wisdom. God bless you, caller, darling. God bless you, caller, love. I had a man of God say to me, see if you can make that person mad. See how far that you can push them to get them mad. See if they're slow to anger or quick to anger. See, women need to learn all of this, and men need to learn all this. Sometimes it's not really all the man, it's the woman. Sometimes a man marry a woman and she's quick to anger. She's ready to throw plates and pots and cups and bowls and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, whoa, what did I get myself into? So you want to make sure that you're learning relationship develop. So take the first 3 months, develop a friendship first. Just go out, have fun at the movies, just do some nice fun things. Go skating, go bowling, sit in the park, take a picnic basket. Just learn, what kind of music did you like? Ask questions. Ask questions. Prophet Deborah said, and be honest. Yes, be honest. You want to be honest. So we're hoping that some men will watch this as well. So when we get off of this, I want those who have not subscribed to this station, my YouTube channel, I want you to subscribe to it, and I want you to share it to some other people that are single or engaged. Share this link and get it out so they can hear this, because this is going to be a big help to them. What did Carla say? She said, I made it. Just got okay. Okay, wonderful. So communication is so very important because men and women are wired differently. Okay, wired different. Okay, let me put this down for a second. Let's go back here and see what Sonia is saying. She says, in communicating, be approachable, not long-winded, emotional, and needy. Make him, her feel comfortable. Ease into it. Yes, that's very good. That's very good. She says, in communication, be approachable. Be, you know what? Let me say this. One of my books, let me see if it's this book or not. One of my books I have, I talk about um I talk about oh my God, what do I have in one of my books? I talk about being open, being open. And she has says be approachable, not too long-winded, emotional. Okay, and this is for a woman. Women, listen, don't approach yourself like you're desperate. God, you'll run the poor man away. And you're right. Don't just continue. Don't talk. You're just talking. You don't talk for the first 30 minutes, and he's sitting there looking at you like, okay, when are you gonna come up for air so I can talk? That even turns me off, and I'm not interested in no woman. You know, the devil is a lie. So that turns me off. Come on, give me time, give me chance to communicate. You talk a little bit, I talk a little bit, but don't sit there, because I'm talking to women right now, because we can be catty and we can be chatty, not catty. We can be chatty and we can just talk and talk and talk. And the man is just like, just looking at you like, okay, I guess in his mind, when are you going to be quiet so I can talk? That turns him off. Say a little something and give him chance to say something. Just like Sonia says, be approachable, not too long-winded. Don't be emotional, needy. Make him and her feel comfortable. You want to ease into conversations. Ease into conversations. That's very good. That's very good. Let's see what we else we got here. Let him digest it, not throw it up. That's good. That's good, love. Let him digest the conversation, not throw it up. That's so good. That's good. That's good. Okay, I see Prophet Deborah has something. She said, don't pretend to like something that you don't, because once married, it will become an issue. Oh, yes, it will. And Jeannie said, bring out the fruitful things in each other. Okay, she says she's married. Okay, I didn't know that you were married, darling. She said, I'm married, but this is good. Okay, praise Praise God. So these are some good things here. Listen, and this is good. She says, make your conversation fruitful. And Deborah said, don't pretend to like something that you don't, because if you get married, it's going to create a problem, an issue later. And she's absolutely right, because I have been there and done that. And digest. You want to digest. So that's really good. Now I have another question. Let me get this other question. So that's good for communication. So we want to learn that communication is very valid. So if you know anyone that especially is a gentleman, share this on their page, because men need to understand about communication as well. They need to understand that they need to communicate. Listen, let me read this in my book. Men are capable of. Let me see. No, I don't want to read that. I don't want to read that. Let me see. Let me see. Woo. Men have different languages than women. Men have different language. The difference in form may explain a lasting. Okay, no, that's something different. I don't want to go too far in my book. You're gonna have to get my book for this. Let's see. Okay, I can't give you that one either. Okay, I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this. Therefore, men and women must understand and learn each other verbal language. Does his eyes mean no? Does her no means yes? Does his yes mean no, or vice versa? Once we learn the difference in the male and female language, on how one thinks and understand, we can then get along better. Now, let me explain. This is coming out of my book. I have written, I'm an author of 30 books plus, 30 books plus. So I have a other few books on relationship, but I want to explain this. Men and women have a different language. They speak different, they hear different. So this will be something for you to even learn, even for married people, probably perhaps now, that you may have a husband and you'll maybe come butt head across the a road there and trying to figure out why he can't understand. God bless you, Pastor Brenda. And you're trying to figure out why they're not understanding, because men and women have a different language, and they hear different, and they perceive and understand different. So when you have a husband there or someone that you're engaged to, this is what you must learn. Now you may have to get counseling. Don't mean it's bad. Counseling does not mean bad. Counseling is not a bad word. I'm gonna say that again. Counseling is not a bad word. Counseling means, or you can find your coach, find your a spiritual life coach, someone that deals in relationship or counsel and help you. Counseling helps you to understand each other. Counseling helps you, a coach or a life coach will help you see each other's language. It would help you to see each other, how you communicate. So counseling or getting a life coach will help you to see. Yes, you got to pray. Yes, you got to pray, definitely. But you want to get you, prayer is definitely important. But get you a life coach if you're finding it a little difficult to communicate. If he's willing and she's willing, that's wonderful. Then get a life coach or counsel. What they do is they help you see each other's communicative skills. They help you see each other, how you communicate, how one listens, how one hears. That also in communication. This is another skill that we all must learn in communication is just not hearing. I'm going to say that again. Communication is just not hearing, but communication is hearing and listening. Hearing and listening. Many times in communication between a man and a woman, or just two people, many times things are misinterpreted because we heard what they said, but we weren't listening to what they were saying. That's good right there. Somebody can type that in the comment box. We heard what they said, but we weren't listening to what they were saying. That's good right there. My God, that's good right there. So we have to learn the communicative skills. There's also the other communication is body language. I studied a little body language. So sometimes people, when they don't talk, especially if a man, he doesn't talk a lot, you can if that woman is wise, she will study her husband. You should study that man you're going to be married to. You should study that woman that you're going to be married to. Study their language. Sometimes you can watch a person's body language and it would tell you, it would be speaking to, it'll speak to you. But in communication, you want to listen, you want to hear, and then you want to listen. You want to listen. Let me see if someone's giving me a, let me see if somebody's saying something here. Okay. Okay. You want to listen, you want to hear, and you want to listen. So when you're communicating with each other, you're sitting there, you're communicating, you're talking a little bit. So while you're talking a little bit, that other person should be hearing and listening to what you said. Because when you're hearing with the outer ear. But when you're listening with the inner ear. That inner spirit part of you is really listening to what you heard they say. Because what we communicate, if we listening, we're here. We will hear. Let me see how I should put this. We will hear what they're saying. We're listening to what they're actually saying. Oh my God, this is so good. So you want to hear, because you can communicate something to someone and then you can say, okay, but what did you hear me say? Okay, and what did you understand me to say? So what did you understand me to say is what you were listening to. So we got to learn to listen to what we're hearing. Oh my God, that is so good. That is so good. Let me see. I see some things right here. I see some things right here. Let's see. Okay, what do we have here? We heard what they said, but we were listening to what yeah. Okay. They just I let them know before time that a we need to have a come to Jesus meeting. Evangelist Jackie. Oh my God, you're so funny. Oh my God. So listen, in communication, also you want to learn the terminology of the person that you're going to be courting and engaged to, going to be married. You want to learn their terminology. You want to learn how they understand, how they perceive. That's a part of communicating and understanding what words. See, now I'm gonna take myself for an example. I'm a word person. I'm a word person. And if you're using the wrong word, to me, what would be the wrong word? It could be the right word to you. But if you're using a word that doesn't kind of click with me, I'm going to misunderstand what you're saying. So I'm going to continue to make sure. Could you repeat that again? And if you don't understand what someone is saying, could you repeat that again? I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I'm not flowing with you. It does. That's not taking anything away from you. If you say, could you repeat that again, please? I'm not quite getting that. I'm not quite understanding it. And then if they can use a different word, and then because I'm a word person, so certain words, if you use it in a different way, then it's like a bell goes. I'm like, oh, now I got it. I got what you say. So we're not ignorant. We just need to learn how to communicate and understand the different ways that a man or woman communicate, their perception of how they understand what you're communicating to them, and understanding their terminology of words, because that plays a very big part in communication. Terminology of words. Terminology of words. Oh my God, this is so good. I want to get to something that someone texted me on a question. I want to get to this other question. Let me see if let me go back here and find it. This is so good. This is so good. Okay, let me. Okay, okay. Prophet Sonia is saying, not only listen to them, but listen to yourself. Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that. I like that. I like that. She said, Prophet Sonia said, not only listen to them, but listen to yourself. The way you communicate may be a part of the problem. Oh, that is very good. I like that. I like that. I like that. She said, so the way you may be communicating may be the problem. I like that, Sonia Love. Although that may sound discouraging, that's actually good news, because you don't have to wait until your partner changes to start changing your relationship. Oh, that is so good. Did y'all hear what she said? She said, listen, not only listen to what your partner is saying, or this here could really just go with anybody. Don't just listen to what that person is saying, but listen to how you're communicating and relaying the message over to that person, because it may be that you're not communicating well enough so they can understand. I like that. I like that. That's very good. I like that. That's very good. That's very good. Yes, because sometimes I read certain things, I'm like, I do not know what they're talking about. That's good. And then sometimes I have to go back and I listen to myself, and I'm going to do that even more. That's really good, darling. That's really good, because it's like you have to say, okay, maybe I'm not explaining this right to them so they can understand it. And terminology of words is so important. I cannot stress enough that we must learn terminology words. And I'm going to use this here, and it's an example about someone. I'm not going to call their name. I love them dearly. I love them dearly. I'm trying to find this other question that was sent to me earlier. Matter of fact, I had two questions. I want to get it out. Oh my God, before we get off. Uh, okay, I'm gonna see if I can dissect this question. Oh my, oh my God, oh my God. Thank you, God. Yes, God. So let's see. Okay, so now I know someone, and I love this person dearly. I'm not gonna mention their name, and we're in a covenant relationship, a spiritual mother and spiritual son. And it's like they don't understand, to me, to communicate. It's like, okay, what are you doing? What's going on? And see, sometimes men will do something not just to be mean, but sometimes men just, can I just say this? Sometimes, and if there's any men, brothers that will come on here and look, I am not man bashing. I love men. So I'm not saying anything bad about men. Let me just let the record show. I'm not downing men. I am for men all the way. Matter of fact, I boost men. I boost them to do better, to, rise up, to be a better man. So, but some men just don't think. Can I just talk to the ladies right now? Some men just don't think. They just don't think. It don't occur to them. It doesn't cross their mind. It's like, duh. They just don't think, because they're thinking from their world. They're thinking from their mind and their world. And they're not thinking the way you would think. So you're expecting them to do something and it hasn't even crossed their mind at the least bit. Like, duh. So sometimes you have to say something, because if you're waiting on a man to figure it out, I think someone sent something in here saying, if you're waiting on a man to figure stuff out, you may be waiting for a very long time, because sometimes they don't even cross their mind. It won't even occur to them. They just don't think, because their mind just, they don't wire that way, because some men are just men. So women, you have to sometimes help that man to think. You have to help him to think, because we cannot expect a man to be like a woman. You cannot expect a man, once again, to be like a woman, because sometimes they just don't think. And it's nothing that they're trying, they just, but when they begin to learn you, when they learn who you are, I said this to one person: dwell with them according to knowledge. Dwell with them according to knowledge. In other words, dwell, and whoever man may watch him, brother may be watching, dwell with a woman according to knowledge. Dwell with her according to understanding. Understanding. Understand the woman that you are dwelling with, so you can live in peace. That's rich right there. That's rich right there. I'm gonna give you that free. That's rich right there. And men, if you have any brothers watching, if you want to be in peace with that woman that you're going to be marrying and living with, dwell with her according to knowledge, understanding. Understand her, who she is. Understand her. Understand how she thinks. And so it's both ways, though. We have to learn. You have to learn each other. But my God. Okay, let me read those. Oh my God, this here gets so good. I don't want to go over my time. Oh my God, this is so rich. Listen, this another question. I got two more questions here. Let's see. Let me see if I can dissect this. Okay, I think I'm understanding what this question is. Say men look at their. I think. Let me see. Look at the relationship and think that the relationship is based on God. Relationship, especially when they go. Okay. I think here's the question. Okay, here's the question. I'm gonna have to dissect it. Is it okay for a husband and wife to go to two different churches, two different ministries? The man feels like it's okay when they got married, they can do like their parents. He has a church and you have a church. Okay, so here's a person that's was raised up this way, and perhaps their parents did that, so now they're thinking it's okay. If I'm understanding this question correctly, is it okay for, if you're married, and is it okay for you to go to two different ministries? I have an answer, but I'm gonna see what Let me see. I think I'm understanding it. Okay, and for what this question, it says that this worked for this man's uh, parents. So in other words, they're following their parents' shoes, and said it worked for their parents, and so they want to do that with their wife. So I hope I'm explaining this right. So, and they want to see if it's okay if you go, if you're married and you go to two different churches because their parents did it. So this is what they want to do. Okay, let me see. I have an answer already for this. Okay, Lady Houston says it depends on the individual. She says, I personally prefer not. Okay, good answer. Okay, I have an answer. Sonia, what are you saying? I have an answer. So is it okay for two married people to go to two different churches, two different ministries? Because the husband said that's how his parents did it. Okay. All right. Let's see. I think it's another question here. I'm just trying to. This young lady did not break the question. She didn't separate the questions. She put them all in one question. Let me see. Okay, let me answer this question right here that she answered. Okay, let me answer this. Okay, I see you, son. Okay. Prophet Sonia said she believed that they should go together, and Lady Houston said it depends on the individual. She personally prefer not. Okay, now these are questions. Okay, let me see. Wait a minute, I got somebody. Wait a minute, somebody else respond. I have an answer. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, I did something wrong here. Hold on, y'all, just a minute. Oh my God, I'm tapping the wrong thing. Okay. Okay, here's someone answering. I think they're answering too. They are as one, so why are they praising God separately? That's good, evangelist. Okay, what is the other question? It says, it's better when the family worships together. Yes, Apostolic Pastor Bernice. Yes. Watch that. What worked for your grandparents may not work for you. Yes, that's good. That's good. Okay, Ashley says we should go together. Okay, that's good. Okay, we have Jenny here. She said, this is the full gospel truth, ladies. You have to become their brain. Oh, she's answering something else. Okay, I'm going to read this afterward. I got to read this after. Okay, but let me answer this question here. Now, my personal, how I answer this is, what works for one may not work for you. I personally would not want my husband, we going to two separate ministries. I wouldn't like that. I would not appreciate that, and I would not like that. So if that works for, and I know a couple personally, I know a couple that's personal. It's an older couple, and they go to two different ministries. They started out going together, but later on, the husband did not want to go to this particular ministry anymore, and the husband went to another ministry. And it works out perfect for them. Now, sometimes and these are both a saved individual, but they're older couple. Sometimes he will go with her, and sometimes she'll go over there where he is, and it's perfect for them. There is no big deal. It's fine with them. That works for them. But for me, I would prefer my husband and I go to the house of worship together. That's what I would love. I would not like it if he went one somewhere else and I went. To me, I would feel like that's divided. That's like a division or divided there. So I would prefer that we go together. So that's the answer right there. And so far, we have different answers, just about the same. What works for one may not work for the other. So there's that answer there. So now let me read this that Jenny wrote. This is really good. I got to read this. And I think I have one more answer here. Um, let's see. I think she's answering something I said about something else. So she says, Jenny, she's on here now. Jenny, let me see if I can. She's on here. She says, this is the full gospel truth, ladies. You have to become their brain. God knew he needed a helpmate, but it seems as if they trust your decision so they don't have to think. That is so good. Earlier, when I was saying sometimes, ladies, you just have to think for him because they just don't think. Sometimes men just don't think. So, this is her comment back. She said, but it seems as though they trust your decision so they don't have to think. I had that kind. My God, 20 years, and I'm just understanding. Well, God, I said, I will. Together, I can bring issues together. It can bring issues because you may be taught two different things. No, you see, don't give place to the enemy. So that is so funny how she put it, but it's so true that sometimes you have to think, you have to be their brain. Sometimes you have to be the brain of that man and help him think. Oh my God, because we're the helpmate. Man, I can go somewhere on the helpmate right there. Do you know I'm gonna just tap right in there for a little bit because I have one more question we're gonna put out. Do you know the reason why God made us for the man? God did not make the man for the woman, but he made the woman for the man. The man wasn't made for the woman, but the woman was made for the man because God knew and saw that he needed a helpmate. So that's good, Jenny. I like that. I like that. Let's see what Sonia's saying. Let's see. Oh my God. That is so good. Let me see what she's saying. She said, this is from Sonia, Prophet Sonia. She said, my husband tells me that if it wasn't for the God in me, he wouldn't know how to do or handle certain things. You see that, ladies? We are their helpmate. So listen, you have to understand that God made us to be their helpmate. Let me see, we have some more stuff up here. I got another question I want to get to. God made us to be their helpmate. So this should help you not to be so frustrated that when you have to help them think or you have to help them either make them think. This is where a wise woman comes in at. This is where a wise woman come at. When you make him think that he came up with that idea all by himself. Now that's a wise woman. That ain't gonna take nothing away from you because you know who the brains is. You know who the brain is in the house. So just make him think that he came up with that answer all by himself. It ain't gonna hurt you. Just make him feel good about himself that he figured that thing out all by himself. But we are their helpmate. That's why God made us. God said, you need some help. So I'm gonna send you some help. Now there's some women that are not a help to man, they just tear them down. That's why we gotta wait for our right fitted person. You gotta wait for the person that's fitted for your life. Now, what do I mean by that? He's fitted. He's fitted for you in every aspect of your life. He's fitted for you naturally and he's fitted for you spiritually. If you're a woman of God in ministry, he's fitted for you naturally and he's fitted for you spiritually and vice versa. God is making you the woman to fit your husband because he as well needs someone to fit his life naturally and spiritually. Naturally and spiritually. Later on, we may touch a little bit about sex a little bit. We don't have time to talk about that tonight, but you'll understand the makeup of a man. We'll understand. Now, when I got married at 7, I got married when I was 7. I'm not married today, but when I got married, I was 17 years old. Had no clue what I was doing. Had absolutely no clue whatsoever. I was clueless, but I'm not clueless today. At 64, I've written books, so I'm not clueless. But let me see what's going on here. So we want to know that we are their helpmate. Let me see. Let me go back up here really quick. They are as one. So why are they praised? Oh no, that's something else. Okay, let's go down to Salo. Say no, that should have been worked out before the marriage. Okay. Oh, about going to two different ministries. Yes. Yeah, about going to two. I believe that's what Sister Harris is saying. work things out before you get married. Yes, that's good. That's why you want to talk, communicate, talk, develop a friendship, ask questions. So when you're not shocked. Oh, yes, absolutely, Sonia. Absolutely. Don't rush to be married because you cannot wait and settle for less than God's best. Oh my God, yes. And she can tell you a testimony that would be have she would have to tell that on the next go round. I think I got five. Oh my God, it's already an hour, you all. Oh gosh, this is so good. Oh my goodness, this is so good. It just give me about 10 more minutes. My shows are usually an hour and I don't try not to go over. But give me 10 more minutes here because I want to get this other question out. Yes. This is so good. It says, make sure he's fit right. Okay, how can two walk together unless they agree? In the instance of we are in two different churches and being taught differently, it can bring about confusion. So we have to pray. Yes. Let me tap on this what Apostolic Pastor Bernice Miller is saying. Yes, now okay, let me just tap on that what she said because that is so true. Because if you're being taught holiness, and if your husband going to a Baptist church and you're being taught holiness, that's two different teachings. And yes, that will bring confusion in the marriage. So it's good to talk about what's going on. It's good to talk about what you believe and what you. It's good to get all this stuff out on the table. Do you want children? Do you want children? What church are all this stuff you need to talk about. She's absolutely right because if he's being taught one thing in a different ministry and you're being taught another, and you're bringing that back in, that will cause confusion right there. That's very good, Apostle Bernice. That's very good for bringing that point out. Okay, let's see what Jenny said. She said he needs much affirmation. Affirm him much, and he will become your Superman. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, Jenny Richardson, I love it. Yes, men need to be affirmed. Because guess what? Let me throw this out real quick because we're running out of time. Let me throw this out. Men are really little boys on the inside. You have to cater. I have that in my book. I believe I have that in my book, Red Flags. You have to learn that a man, he's a man, but you have to cater the little boy on the inside of him. Grown men still have the little boy on the inside of them. And you have to use wisdom and know how sometimes they want to get a little stubborn. You have to use your skills, the wisdom to know how to get the attention of the little boy so he can hear you. Yes, boys grow up, but this little boy still live in the grown up man. I don't know how that sound. That may not sound too right, but I hope y'all get that. Hope y'all get it. My God from glory. Let's see what we got here. Yes. Let's see. He needs much. Yes, they need to be affirmed. Yes. And if you have two different churches working for them, how is it they can confuse and complex once more? Okay, this is getting. Let's see. Let's see. If two different churches work for them, however, okay, this can be confusing, complex once children come. Yes, it can. That's good. How do you get them to go to your church? You should. Let's see. How can you get them to go to church? Pray. You have to pray on that one because if you walked into the marriage, if you walked into the marriage, you married, and if you didn't discuss it before and you get married and it becomes an issue, then now it's time to pray because you have to ask God to turn his heart to come to where you are. That's something that you can't make that man do, or vice versa. You can't make her do it, or you can't make him. That's where you have to go into a little fasting, maybe put a little fasting on it, and pray for God to turn that person's heart. And so that's something that needs to be talked about when you're married. Find out about what, you want to go to my church, my ministry, we'll come to your ministry. That's where you have to come in agreement on that. Because if they're going to two different ministries and they're not in agreement with it, it's a confusion, that's going to bring strife in the marriage. Because if he's not wanting to go where you are, and not wanting to go where he is, that's going to bring a little strife. Stop it, Apostolic Pastor Bernice. Stop it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So that's something you need to pray about. Yes, belief matters. You don't want to be unequally yoked. Yes. Okay, what other we got? Keep loving and respecting your husband and pray for him. Yes, you got to love, you got to pray. Well, she's not married, but yes, this is good. This is so good. This is so good. This is so good. It is best to go to the same house of God. It's best. So you want to have that conversation before you get married. Because if you do that in your marriage and you're in disagreement, that's going to open the door for strife. Then that's going to shut down your communication. Okay, that's going to shut down your communication. Listen, let me get to this other question. I want to get this other question. I had a young lady. Let me see if I can get to this last one. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Um, let me see. Let me see. Okay, why are men? I got one more after this one. I want to see. We may not be able to answer it. Let's see. Why are men so slow in making commitment to their mate? They are more just. Let me see. Why are men slow in making a commitment to their mate? Okay, now that's confusing to me right there. Okay, so when you say mate, that means husband and wife to me. So if you are married, you already made a commitment. So why are men slow in making commitment to their mate? So that's that word terminology. Mate to me means that's my husband. Because if we're engaged, they're not my mate. Okay, they're not my mate. So that right there, terminology doesn't throw me off. So I think what this person is asking, I think if you want to retype it, I don't want to call your name out, but if you want to retype this, darling, to bring more clarity to it so I can understand it, because you said, why are men so slow in making commitment? Yeah. Okay, because mate to me, when you say mate to me, that means husband and wife. Because if I'm engaged to someone, that's not my mate. That's not my mate. Okay, see, that's that communication right there. That's that terminology. Okay. Yeah, it might not be there. Oh, okay, Sonia. Thank you, baby, for helping me. Okay, thank you, love. That terminology. See, you gotta be terminology for me. Terminology. Okay, so okay, she helped me right there. It may not be their mate. So if this is, well, it's still a mate as a husband to me. So, well, we'll just say some men, okay, in a relationship. Okay. So why are people slow to make a commitment in a relationship? Okay, I'm gonna ask you this here. If it is why men are is because they're still not sure. It's because they're still not sure about you. They're not sure because a man, I have talked to men, I have questioned men and asked them if when a man has made up his mind. That's a very good question, darling. Very good question. Why are men slow to make a commitment in a relationship? Okay, that's very good. And this is my answer because I've talked to men on this. The reason why men are slow in making a commitment is because one, they're not ready. Two, it could be they're now that they're not ready to make a commitment to you. Okay? Now somebody else may have something to add on to this. One, they're not ready to make a commitment, and two, they're not or they're not ready to make a commitment to you. And they're just reject. Okay, let me see. What does she have here? Sonia says rejection. They aren't interested in you. Don't know how to love or commit. Very good. Yes, very good. They're not ready to make a commitment. But she took it a little further. Some men. The reason why they're slow about making commitment. Here's what Sonia said: rejection. They aren't interested in you, which is what I said, and don't know how to love or commit. So these are different answers. It could be rejection. It could be their fear of making a commitment because of rejection. A woman rejected them. That's good. And because, or either they're not interested in you, or they don't know how to love or commit, or they're not ready. That's very good, Sonya. That's good. Fear of being controlled. So this is her answers. Very good answers. Very good answers. Yes, they're not ready. They're not interested in you. Fear of being controlled. They don't know how to, or rejection. Very good. Very. I knew very good. Let me see. What is someone that said? If they worship, separate. Let's see if they worship separate the Sunday. They are issues. Somebody else honor covenant. Okay. Okay, we definitely gonna have enough come. We're definitely coming back Monday. This is good. This is getting hot. Some are slow because they are not sure. Right. That's right. They don't want to be committed. Right. That's what Sonia, Prophet Sonia said. Once a man makes up his mind, yes, that's it, lady. That's what I was getting ready to say. Once a man makes up his mind, he will move mountains to get you. Come on here. I like that. I like that. That's what I was getting ready to say. Maybe not in that way. Once a man makes up in his mind that he has his eyes on you, if he wants you, he see that you're going to be his wife, he will move mountains to get you. He will chase you down. He will woo you. He will woo you and love you till you become his. So, but when you have a man that's procrastinating, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. You need to get my book, Red Flag. That's a red flag. My God, that's a red flag. And some men just haven't grown up. Yes. And some men just haven't grown up. There's some men that are not mature enough for relationship. They just want to have someone there to be, but they don't want to take it to the next level and walk in commitment. They don't want to be in commitment. They don't want to be committed because they're not grown up. They're not mature enough. Yes, yes, yes. They will chase you down. Yes. Damage. Let me see what this says. Let's see what Avenger says. Damage, broken, and unforgiven. Yes, from previous relationship. Right. That's what I was talking about in the first go round. Broken relationships, rebound relationships. So this is, and even now, this works on the flip side as well. This work with even if a man has found somebody, sometimes the man is ready to be committed, but that woman is not, and the same principle goes with that woman. So if there's a brother that's looking and you're interested in somebody, you see somebody you want, it could be so many reasons, but it could be that she's been rejected, she's a fear of moving, she don't know whether she can trust you. Now let me add this out, let me throw this out. Let me throw this out. Sometimes women can, sometimes men can be too aggressive or be too assertive and scare women away. Let me say this to the brothers. If there's any brothers listening, and I don't see you on here, if you are an aggressive man, if you are a assertive man, aggressive man, or and all of that, and you're just too too overbearing for that woman, you will run that woman away every single time. You'll run her away. You'll run that woman away because that will scare a woman when a man becomes overbearing, too pushy, too in a hurry, too rushy. That will run a woman away. That will make a woman be scared and cautious and run away. So, men, you cannot be pushy. You cannot be in a rush. You got to let that woman come to her place where she's comfortable, where she's relaxed with you, where her heart can trust you. A woman needs to know. I'm talking to the men. If they're meaning watching this, that woman must know that her heart, she can trust her heart in your hand. She can trust your heart in her hand. But if she feels like you're pushing her, you're pushy, you're assertive, and all of this, you're going to push her away. Yes, yes, yes. You're going to push her away. She's going to run every time. Yes, this is, yes. Yes, so listen. Whoo, I got to go, y'all. Oh my God, I got to go. My God. I had another. Let me see if I can get this last one in. Let me get this last one. I don't know if this young lady's watching or not. I don't know if she's watching, but here's a question. Um, well, I think we asked her because she was talking about no communication and bumping heads, and so she's been uh, with this person for 3 years. I don't think this person is married to this person. I'm not for sure. I'm going to find out after we get off the show. Of course, I'm not calling this person's a name. But if she is watching, you cannot fix a relationship. You cannot fix a relationship when there's no communication. I'm gonna end with this. I'm gonna have to go, y'all. I have to go. It's an hour and 15 minutes. I don't like to stay too long on my shows. I'm learning to do that. Of course, I can go on, but I don't want to stay too long. You cannot fix a relationship when there's no communication. You cannot fix a relationship where there is no communication. When the walls of communication is down, that causes the relationship to become weak. That weakens the walls of the relationship. It weakens the walls of the relationship when there is no communication. Communication, intimate communication. Intimate. Now, what do I mean by intimate communication? I'm not talking about sex, because sex is not, intimacy is not sex. Intimacy is when you can sit with, and I'm closing with this. Intimacy is when you can sit with that person that you have an interest in and they have an interest in you. And you can sit there and you can be free to communicate with that person and open up and take your time and unfold parts of your soul, parts of who you are to that person. And you can trust that person with your most hidden secrets, your most vulnerable parts of you. When you can unfold your soul and you can unfold it, unwrap it just bit by bit. A woman is like an orange. And if you carefully peel, you take an orange. I have that in my book too. You take an orange, and to carefully peel that orange, you can peel an orange so carefully till you can peel it all the way around until you don't break the ring of it, the orange ring, to where it's completely peeled off the orange carefully until you don't break the ring of it. This is how you do a woman. A woman is carefully peeled. But if you handle that woman in a rough way and peeling that orange really in a hurry, you're tearing parts of her, you're breaking parts of her off. And so that causes that woman to pull back, and then she doesn't, she pulls away. But when intimate conversation, communication is when you're there communicating, hearing and listening each other and understanding. And you're peeling parts of you back slowly, revealing certain parts of your innermost being to that person. You're allowing that person to know who you are from the inside, and vice versa. That's intimacy, because now you're bonding soul to soul. You're now becoming intimate soul to soul. So that's what you want to pray for, ladies that are single, those that perhaps that are married. You can still have that. You just have to pray for that. But it has to be, it has to be an agreement. Agreement is so powerful in a relationship. It's so powerful when there's an agreement together and you're both are on the same page. You want someone in your life that where you can be on the same page, walk, stay on the same page, and come into agreement. Sometimes you may not agree of everything. You may not agree with everything. But there's this word that I call this word that I call compromise. This word compromise. This is where you learn to compromise with each other. When you come to a place on that page together and you don't seem to agree, then that's where you bring compromise in the conversation. That's where you invite compromise to come in and said, okay, let's compromise, because you want to stay on the same page. You want to stay on the same page with that person. You never want to get off of the same page. So communication is very powerful. Intimate communication with the person that you're thinking about marrying, you engage with, staying on the same page. That is so important to do. I'm going to say good night. This is Dr. Coach Vanzant on tonight with Let's Talk Relationship. God bless you. We're going to see you next Monday night, and we're going to begin to do Sunday nights, evenings, and we're going to do relationship table talk. That's where I bring a different topic, a different show. But tonight we're doing Let's Talk Relationship. I am your host, Dr. Coach Vanzant. God bless you. Have a blessed evening. Share this live broadcast and do subscribe to this station. If you have not done so, Please click on the link below and subscribe to it. I appreciate it so much. God bless you. Have a blessed night. Have a blessed week. God is up to something great and powerful. It's not over yet till God says so. Come on, stand in faith, for God is getting ready to do something powerful in God's people's life. God bless you. Shalom.